Hello, this is Rory, and this is my first ever Spotlight video. I'm going to be doing this about games or TV shows, movies, books that could use more love, in my opinion. This one's about Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, which is a really fun action RPG that was overshadowed by the release of Skyrim. The first thing I like about this game is the atmosphere. The environments are very colorful and varied. There's southwestern desert-style environments, which is very unusual in this medieval-type RPG. I also like the combat, which is very fluid, very responsive. The attacks feel like they have weight and power to them, and the higher-level abilities just look awesome. So to me, this game was just very escapist and enjoyable to play. I got it in October, and I played it pretty much straight through. All of my gaming time was devoted to this game. I also like the racial diversity you can create with the character creation system. I think that it's great to see that kind of thing in a high fantasy type setting. It's a little thing, but it's nice to see. That said, the character creation is not as varied in terms of fantasy races as what you would see in a game like Skyrim. That said, the options are somewhat limited in terms of facial features, and all of the characters have basically the same build. The men are burly, the women are lithe and curvy. I also really enjoyed the faction quests and some of the other quests. I thought they were fantastic for the most part. They were intriguing, emotional, just fun to play through. So, what's not so good about this game? Well, in contrast to the faction quests, the main storyline is sort of so-so. It's just not very memorable. You're saving the world once again, and there's some mumbo-jumbo about fate and things. And somehow it just doesn't work. And many of the main quest characters don't feel quite as interesting or well-developed as some of the ones that you just see in faction quests. That's unfortunate. Other than that, well, as I mentioned, the game is not that hard. And it's not that hard because you can very easily overlevel yourself. It is the opposite of grindy. Probably by 2/3 of the way through the game, if you're just doing a regular playthrough, you will be too strong for most of the enemies and you will just devastate them. That said, that does mean that pretty much any build is viable, which is an upside. Also, where there are difficulty spikes, oftentimes it's not in the boss battles. It's just random groups of mooks that for whatever reason are really probably a bit stronger than they should be. The crafting system is also quite a bit overpowered, and if you use it, you'll find yourself not using very much of the unique equipment or of the armor sets. Which is a pity because they look pretty cool. They just don't give you anywhere near the amount of power that items you craft for yourself can get, even if you don't max out blacksmithing or alchemy or sage crafting, which are the crafting skills. Also, the lore feels a little bit, not tacked on, but it feels like it detracts from this experience almost. I found myself not reading very much of it and not necessarily listening to all of the lore stones, in part because the audio mix was a bit poor in some areas and they would be overpowered by the effects of a battle that would quite frequently start shortly after I activated them. But somehow it's just, you're not motivated to find out about the world, or at least I wasn't for the most part. And that's a pity, because I really am, I mean, I'm the kind of person who can just go on and on and on. I mean, don't ask me about Star Wars. Don't ask me about The Lord of the Rings, because I could talk your ear off. But Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning doesn't make me want to do that kind of nerding out. However, on the balance, I really enjoyed this game. I think if you're looking for a game to play after work or after school, something that will just relax you, go for it. Buy it. Play. As far as the length of the game goes, it took me a bit over 60 hours to complete it, so it's decently long. Now, if you were in a rush, you could definitely complete it faster. I did do most quests and many of the tasks. If you wanted to get all achievements, it would definitely take you longer, because you have to play through the game multiple times to do so. And on that note, thank you for watching my Spotlight video. If you want to see more, please check out my channel, subscribe, add a comment, follow me on Twitter or Tumblr. Good gaming, and until next time.